Useful questions for clarifying. Number 1. Could you say that again, please? This is a more natural way of saying please repeat. Number 2. What does mean? If you don't know the meaning of a word, you should ask what does mean. Be careful. It is not correct to say what means. Number 3. How do you spell that? This can be a useful question if you need to write a word. It can also help you remember a name that is unfamiliar to you. Useful questions for polite interactions. Number 1. Do you mind if I? You can use this expression to ask if an action would disturb someone. For example, do you mind if I close the window? Or do you mind if I smoke here? Number 2. I was wondering if this is an indirect way of asking a question. For example, instead of asking can I borrow your notes, you can say I was wondering if I could borrow your notes. When you use this phrase, you have to use the next verb in the past tense. I was wondering if you wanted to watch the game with me. Number 3. Could you give me a hand? Give someone a hand means help someone, usually with something physical. If you need help, you can ask could you give me a hand? If you see someone who might need help, for example someone is trying to move a heavy object, you can ask can I give you a hand with that? When we are asking for help, we usually use could because it sounds more polite than can. Polite language. Number 1. Excuse me. This phrase is useful in many situations. You can use it to apologize for something small, like bumping into someone by accident. You can use it to get someone's attention before asking a question, like in a store. You can also use it to politely ask someone to move aside if you are trying to walk, for example on a sidewalk. Number 2. I really appreciate it. When you want to say more than just thank you, you can add this phrase. For example, thanks so much for helping me. I really appreciate it. Number 3. That's really nice of you. This is another way to give someone an extra thanks. You can replace nice with other words, like generous or kind. Number 4. I'm sorry to hear that. This phrase is useful when someone gives you bad news or tells you about something unfortunate that happened to him or her.